How do you compare public speaking to stand-up comedy?
Oh, okay. A good question, right? How do you compare public speaking with stand-up comedy? In Toastmasters, this is a contest on international speech. So it's a more serious speech. In Toastmasters, we have a different kind of speech. We call it the humorous speech, where we try to make the audience laugh. Now, and how does it differ from a stand-up comedy? A speech has to be congruent in has to have a theme, right? The whole speech must talk about one and only one topic. Even though our aim is try to make the audience laugh, but then we talk only one topic. And within that topic, we find areas where we can inject humor. For stand-up comedy, if you have noticed, it's a series of different kinds of jokes and punchlines put together. So the speaker might talk about one thing, and then after a few sentences where he succeeded to make you laugh, he moved on to a different topic, and then so on and so forth. So it's a series of different jokes without relationship, without a message, and the purpose is just to make you laugh. Okay? Any other question?
Yes, hi. I just want to ask, when we're sort of thinking of this public speaking contest, the target contestants, for example, the junior form students. Now, they've had a lot less life experiences than you or I, less opportunities to speak publicly, and they're told they have to choose their own topic. Now, this is a very broad, it's sometimes easy actually, if they're given a range of topics to choose from. So, as an adjudicator, so what do you think makes interesting topics for these young people to speak on, and how would you direct them, or how would you help them choose topics that are appropriate for their thinking of their sort of range of experiences?
Okay. So how do I advise, what kind of advice would I give them in terms of choosing the right topic, right? Well, as an adjudicator, what do we look for in a speech? We look for the element of surprise, right? You talk about things that is not very common, right? Things that have a deep message, something that we were not expecting it would come from a young student, like 12-year-old or something. So try to surprise the judge. If the speech is constructed in a very excellent way, then I'm sure it will touch the judges. It doesn't matter what kind of topic they choose. Normally, we would not expect children your age to talk about very serious topics like war and all these things. It sounds fake, right? Talk about your daily interest, something that's of interest to you, right? That will be more genuine. So my suggestion, pick topics that happens in your daily life and share it with the judges, and I'm sure they will be touched because it's genuine sharing. What we're looking for is genuine sharing. I hope that answered your question. Next. Any more questions?
Is there any questions out there? Oh.
I'd like to ask, how do you memorize this time your hour-long delivery without any cue card or anything to help you?
First of all, do you memorize a speech? Do you memorize a speech? That's the question. The right answer is try to know your speech by heart. You know it by heart, but you don't memorize it. right? Because when you memorize, you have to stick with each specific words in sequence, right? If you make a mistake or use the wrong word, you might get stuck. So know your speech by heart. That's the most important thing. It's all right if you change words as you go, or change the sequence as you go. But you must know your speech by heart. How do I deliver this workshop an hour long without cue card? What's the one thing that I would like you to remember? A while ago I said, preparation. You have to prepare, right? Just to be honest, when I deliver my contest speech, I rehearsed more than 50 times, sometimes even 100 times. And through all these rehearsals, it will be impossible for you to forget your speech, right? But what about an hour long or longer, like 10, 15 minutes? Well, within your speech, you try to put anchors, and you try to have transitions in your speech, in your materials. I say, for example, I talk about humor, and I talk and said, okay, you can use twist, right, to create humor. And that will link you to the next topic, which is twist. So you mention something that reminds you of what you're going to say next. So use transition words to help you remember what you're going to talk about next. That will help you remember, right? A lot of speeches that I've heard before where speakers forgot what the next line is. The reason for that is they talk about very unrelated materials. They are very philosophical, like this. It's like essay. You talk about one thing and you talk about a different thing and talk about a different thing. There are no relationships in between, and it will be hard for you to remember your speech. Now, in the 1 hour workshop I just did, remember, there's a sequence if you have noticed. First, you have to come up with a theme. Then you choose a name for the dish, and then you prepare it, and then you add spices to it, and then you time it to perfection. So it's a process of cooking, and that helps me remember, right? And it also brings fun. So try to put anchors or transition words, right, in your speech, and make sure that materials are in sequence, so that it will be better for you, easier for you to remember your speech. Okay?